Hi there. Well, a lot of people have been asking in my videos whether you can do a mmWave sensor which is battery powered. Well, that's what we're going to look at today. This one's from Third Reality. So the motion sensor R1 from Third Reality is selling at $29.99, and this is a product that was just released at CES 2025. Now, the first thing you'll notice here that this is not a 24 or a 60 gigahertz radar like we've been used to. This is a 5.8 gigahertz. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this works in comparison to the other. The connection is via Zigbee, so that's awesome. We know that the Third Reality sensors connect super easily. I'm currently using a Sonoff Zigbee USB dongle to communicate with. So these devices can apparently connect to things like the Echo Show, Home Assistant, SmartThings, Homey Pro, and a whole lot of other different smart home systems. One of the key things about this device is that it has this adjustable sensitivity. So this is adjusted using these two buttons at the top here. Rather than having to go into the actual settings of the device, we can do it on the device itself. And then we've got these 5 little LEDs that will display which level of sensitivity. Seems to be a mix of sensitivity but also detection range. So it states here from 1.5 to 9.5 meters. So we'll see how well this is going to work. So having a close look at this device, it's an injection molded plastic cover on the front. As you can see, as we press the buttons at the top, it will change between those 5 different detection modes, and we can see that the detection is from the front face of this sensor over here. Having a look at the top, we've got this plus and minus button, and it can also be used to reset the device or to actually adjust whether the LED shows on the front panel. This LED is used both to show the detection level or the range level, but it also comes on when the actual detection occurs, so you can see a visual prompt that the device is detecting. On the back side, we've got the battery cover. So if we click this off over there like that, you can see we've got our 3 AA batteries. Now, Third Reality is claiming 3 years of battery life on this, which sounds pretty incredible, especially for a mmWave sensor. Now, the first thing I do notice about this, if you've been playing with mmWave, you'll notice that generally they're pretty warm to the touch. This one is completely cool. So that's the first difference. And obviously that's one of the things that's going to allow for much longer battery life, the fact that it's not heating up. So the device was super easy to connect to my Zigbee network in Home Assistant, and let's have a look at what it comes up with. So we've got our sensor, which is very, very simple. There's no actual range detection or anything like that. It's basically just giving you either an on or an off, so either clear or detected. Down here we've got this detection interval. Now what this is basically is the cool off. So the longer we set this, the longer it's going to wait to actually turn off after it stops detecting motion. And then down over here we've got our battery measurement. Now these are fairly well used batteries that I've got here at the moment, so it's not as if it's just gone down to 66% immediately. Now what I've done here for the testing is I've created 2 very, very simple Home Assistant automations. All I'm doing is I'm looking at this device. When it is starting to detect motion, I'm turning on the WLED kitchen strip in my kitchen, and then I've got a second one that is turning the strip off again once it has stopped detecting motion. To try this out, I set it up in my kitchen and started moving a distance away from the sensor. As you can see, if I don't move, it literally switches off pretty much immediately. I've got it set at 2 seconds at the moment for the cool off period. So this is not working in the way that we would normally expect a 24 gigahertz mmWave sensor to work. It's working more like a PIR sensor. So overall, this was a very interesting review. I'm really interested to see how this whole radar system is developing. And obviously this 5 gigahertz is designed as a motion sensor rather than a presence sensor. I think a lot of people, the same as myself, were assuming that it was because it was mmWave, then it was going to give us presence. But this is really designed, and Third Reality makes it quite clear that this is a motion sensor and not a presence sensor. So what are the benefits of this over other PIR presence sensors? So first of all, it can see through walls. For example, if you've got a standard drywall, mmWave will penetrate through that. So yes, that has some benefits in the way that you could mount this, for example, behind the wall, totally hidden, although you would have to get it to update or change the batteries at some stage. But those are the benefits. That can also be a downside in the fact that it will measure someone walking past, even though they may not be in the room that you're actually wanting to detect. When it comes to the actual adjustment, those 5 levels of distance measurement, that's really cool. I mean, our normal PIR sensors don't offer us a distance setting, do they? So in my testing between level 1 and level 5, I found that level 1 was detecting me at about 2 to 3 meters, and level 5, I was at furthest, I was probably about 7 meters away, and it was just starting to fall away at that. So it's really great that you have got that option to be able to change that. Overall, the more and more I play with these Third Reality devices, the more I am impressed with this company. I love how it's all Zigbee, so it's all locally connected. And you'll probably see in one of my other videos, I even tested their Smart Hub, which then takes all their Zigbee devices and then ports them over to Matter. So if you wanted to connect, for example, to HomeKit or something, you could use that little device. And I've now tested that with a whole lot of other Zigbee sensors as well. So it's not only limited to the Third Reality sensors. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this review, and I really look forward to catching up with you in the next one. Please give me your feedbacks about this type of product, about the development of PIR versus mmWave and where it's all moving. And yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It'd be great to have you as part of our subscriber group. That's all for now. You enjoy your week. Bye for now.